Well, usually February is the month for RRSPs as Canadians try to make their contributions before the deadline, but you may want to consider contributing early and trying TFSAs instead. Joining us now with more to explain is Peter Shishecki from Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Now, we're just going to get this out of the way right now because you're wearing something special that you wanted to share with us, and I'm a little bit clueless to what's going on here. So what is it about this jacket?
It's a jacket with a painting on the back of Jim Morrison
Oh,
from The Doors.
who gave you this?
This came from an artist in the States, in Minneapolis, known as Bill Mack, very famous artist, and Bill Mack owns the Hollywood sign. So the sign that says Hollywood, used to say Hollywood Land, fell apart in the 70s, and they put a brand new sign there, and eventually it came into his possession in 2005, and a couple years later he started doing artwork on the Hollywood sign. And he knows I'm a huge Jim Morrison fan, so a few years ago he did a Jim Morrison painting for me, and then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, a Jim Morrison jacket shows up at my house.
Wow, show us the back again, just so we'll get one more quick look there. Wow, that's amazing. Well, look at you knowing people in high places. That doesn't surprise
Well, it's
me.
Minneapolis. It's not that high of a place. It's very, very flat, actually.
Very cool backstory. Well, I'm glad we got some little bit of FaceTime for your Jim Morrison. Okay, let's talk a little finance here. And we always talk about RRSPs, and I know you don't like that term. Why is now the new RRSP season?
Well, if you look at the past for some reason, what happens with RRSP season is people get into a frenzy, and that's the way the banks have created it years ago. They've artificially made this RRSP season. It's just a deadline to count your contributions for the previous year. But if you look at it, what happens is you always over-contribute. You buy too much. You don't put thought into it. RRSP season, if you will, should be in the summertime when more people have more time. A lot of the financial advisors' offices, maybe they're not quite as busy because it's not tax time and everything else. Definitely not as busy as RRSP season. Look at it when you have the time to examine it properly and not overbuy. Instead, you're contributing what you will need to contribute rather than just buying for the sake of buying.
I feel like we're in interesting times right now. People, with money being tight, they may not be in a position where they would overbuy during, quote, RRSP season. They still do. Yeah, I mean, another option, of course, is a TFSA, which we have talked about a lot on this program. And for those who don't know, well, what is the difference between a TFSA and an RRSP?
Well, a TFSA, tax-free savings account, you can use it for a lot of different things. The banks a lot of times promote a TFSA, tax-free savings account, but you could use it just as your daily interest banking account because you're not paying tax on the interest. But maybe you set up a second TFSA and consider it more like your tax-free investment account where you're putting money in possibly as the same type of investment as you would an RRSP. You don't get a tax deduction on the deposit, so it's your after-tax dollars, but you also don't pay any tax on the growth. And then when RRSP deadline time comes, to change that wording,
okay,
at that time you could go, oh, I need X more into my RRSP. You could move it from your TFSA into your RRSP, and maybe you're also moving that tax-free growth, so you kind of get a double whammy against the tax man, and your money is still invested making money. It's just you're not waiting to make some, quick, irrational decision at the last minute.
Where it's often locked in for a period of time. With the TFSA, you have the option to move the money around.
You can move it wherever you want. Maybe even you set up a third TFSA. Make one your holiday TFSA account where you're putting money away to go, oh, next year, the year after, we're going to have this money for Cancun or Maui, or go pay homage to Jim Morrison in Paris.
Yeah, go buy a fancy jacket.
Go to Jim Morrison's grave in Paris and sing Doors music.
Oh, that's fantastic. Should we buy now versus February then?
A lot of times the markets, if you look back at history, 9 times out of 10, the market is very low in the summertime. So maybe you're getting a little more bang for your buck in the summertime and not something overpriced. As they say, tuna's on sale in the summer, so buy it now. Okay, good advice. Peter Shishecki, Everything Financial. Great jacket.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in and bringing Jim.
Thank you.